Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My paper today will be about bacterial invasion of bulb blood vessels in teeth with symptomatic irreversible bulbitis. This is study done by Ricucci and Siqueira and their group and published in Journal of Endodontic in December 2021. As an introduction, this study described the degenerative changes and infection patterns of the bulb tissue associated with symptomatic irreversible bulbitis. The materials consisted of 32 extracted teeth with untreated deep caries that were clinically and histologically diagnosed with irreversible bulbitis. The controls consisted of a two group. First group, intact teeth with normal uninflamed bulbs, and the second group, a teeth with reversible bulbitis. Teeth were processed for histopathologic and histobacteriologic analysis. The results: all teeth with irreversible bulbitis showed area of severe acute inflammation, necrosis, microabscesses, and bacterial infection in the bulb chamber. These areas were surrounded by a chronic inflammatory infiltrate, and at the distance, the bulb tissue was often uninflamed. Bacteria were also observed in the area and in the areas surrounding the necrotic foci, both as scattered cells through the extravascular space and at varying numbers within the blood vessel lumen. In 1/3 of the cases, bacteria occurred in the lumen of venules in areas at a considerable distance from the necrotic focus in the coronal third of the root. No intravascular bacteria were noted in the middle and apical segments of the canal. No bacteria were found in the bulbs of any of the control specimens. Here in figure 1, it shows the slices. The slice A shows tailor-modified brown and brown stains slide. Shows a bacterial penetration through the mesiobuccal bulb horn. The slices from B to A shows hematoxylin and eosine stain. Shows a dilated vessels, packed erythrocytes obstructing the canal lumen, and vascular thrombosis with the packed erythrocytes enmeshed with fibrinous material. And figure 2 shows also tailor-modified brown and brown stains and slice B to E, and they show an overview showing the infected dentin and a large band of a tertiary dentin, a congested venule with bacteria in the lumen, and also partly damaged vessel with the bacteria. Here in the figure 3, from the slice A to H, shows tailor-modified brown and brown stains slice, shows a longitudinal section cut on an bucco-palatal plane, and shows the detail of the left bulb horn, which is almost completely occupied by bacterial biofilms. Dilated vessels with bacteria in their lumen, bacteria cells establishing close contact with erythrocytes, the orifice and coronal third of the palatal canal, and large bacterial aggregation in the dilated vessels, and colonizing irregularities of a root canal wall. In the slices from I to N shows hematoxylin and eosine stain, and it shows a numerous dilated vessels and the packed erythrocytes enmeshed with the fibrin, inflammatory cell accumulation around the vessel, fibrin threads trapping red blood cells. A novel and important finding from this study was that bacteria that penetrated the bulb invaded not only the extravascular tissues but also penetrated the blood vessels and conceivably used their lumen to spread the infection through the bulb tissue. In conclusion, this study showed that in cases with symptomatic irreversible bulbitis, after bulb exposure by caries, bacteria were seen colonizing foci of a severe inflammation and necrosis in the bulb tissue. In all cases, bacteria were also observed in invading blood vessels, sometimes as a massive invasion, suggesting that this may be an important mechanism of the spread of bacterial infection through the bulb tissue in an endodontic infection.